Everybody, it's Eric again, and everyone saw my video a while back where I reviewed the Model 10 Smith & Wesson as part of a response to the Yankee Marshals video on the best handgun ever. And so just as a quick follow-up, I managed to acquire another Model 10, and that would be this Smith & Wesson Victory Revolver. So the Smith & Wesson Victory is basically a Model 10 that was built during World War II, and Smith & Wesson was building millions of these revolvers before World War II. And so when we entered the war, the government didn't have enough pistols for everyone. You know, everyone thinks about the .45 caliber 1911. To a lesser extent, people know about the Smith & Wesson model of 1917 .45 caliber revolver. But there just weren't enough of those, and so non-essential, well, I shouldn't say non-essential, but personnel who were not frontline combat personnel sometimes needed pistols as well. And then the grips were made smooth instead of checkered grips. You know, the civilian production revolvers had checkered grips, the Victories have smooth grips. And so this allowed the U.S. government to obtain hundreds of thousands of pistols, pretty quickly, because they were already under mass production, and so with some streamlining, they made a lot of these. And these would have been commonly carried by Naval and Marine Corps aviators during World War II, mostly in the Pacific Theater. A lot of 38s were issued to flyers because they were smaller than 45s, and because they weren't deemed to need one as badly as other personnel who were armed with pistols. There was also a lot of plant security, a lot of assets that were considered important to the war effort during World War II, oil refineries, manufacturing plants, factories, etc., that had previously never had armed guards, now had scores of armed guards, and they were given these revolvers. This and the Colt Commando, which was just a Colt official police that was rebadged for the war effort. In addition to being used by pilots and plant guards, there's also some reports it was used by some combat units, the Victory model revolver. I got this book right here, U.S. Infantry Weapons of World War II by Bruce N. Canfield, who's one of the editors of American Rifleman, the NRA guide. By the way, if you're just an unrelated thing, Bruce Canfield did not pay me any money for this video. If you see this book anywhere and you enjoy U.S. World War II weapons or collecting or just reading about stuff in general, this book is an indispensable resource. I highly recommend it. I don't even think it's still in print. You may have to find it used or off of Borders or something like that. But basically we're going to go through to the Smith & Wesson Victory Revolver page on it. And the book quotes the book Our Kind of War, which is an autobiography of a Marine raider. It says, the M1911A1 .45 automatic was the standard issue sidearm, but plenty of .38 caliber Smith & Wesson Victory revolvers saw action as well. So there is some reports of the .38 Smith & Wesson being used by frontline combat and special operations units during World War II. And there's really no reason why it wouldn't need to be, because at the time, semi-automatics were not quite as evolved. There wasn't really any of these high-capacity wonder pistols, so the revolver wasn't really that much undergunning underneath a semi-automatic. So I just thought you'd all be interested. This is the Smith & Wesson Victory Revolver, World War II style. And, well, that's about it for this gun. Have a good day, everyone.